Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm so glad you're here. Real quickly, I want to say thank you to the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to anyone who comes in to check out my knife, my EDC content. I thank you. If you're so inclined and you hit the subscribe button, it really helps me out. And I want to say thank you to my local buddy, A to Z EDC, over on Instagram, who made this review possible. He's let me hang on to this knife for way longer than I would have let him hang on to it. But he's a good guy. We swap out a lot of knives. And this, my friends, is the production Strix from Sparrow Knives, round 2. And this is the bronze wash with the DLC coated blade. Guys, it's a knife that when it came out and he told me he was chasing it, I was like, okay, I'll do my best to try to help you find one. But it was never a knife that looked out of, it didn't look like something that would fill a place in my collection. It didn't look like something that was that desirable to me. But the beautiful thing about this hobby, I've had several knives that I've either been able to handle or I've gotten a second look at by being able to spend a little time with them. And good designs speak for themselves, and they really make them, they earn their value not just in the look. And I know a lot of people, me included, the look of the knife is the first thing that attracts me to it. But guys, this knife is absolutely stellar. It is kind of a reverse Tonto sheep's footy blade. It's M390. The production Strix is a production version of one of Sparrow Knives' more popular customs. One thing you notice here is you've got this deep flat grind that's kind of asymmetrical, i.e. you've got a deeper flat grind up here at the top than you do down here at the bottom. You've got this wonderful swedge that lines up perfectly for me when I use this forward finger choil, which is both incorporated into the blade and into the handle. It's just ergonomically excellent. The action on it is a Riot OEM knife, frame lock, drop shut action. It's got, again, the bronze wash with black pocket clip, black hardware, black blade, black pivot collar. It's got this front flipper that is next level. If you guys have watched the channel for any amount of time, you know that front flippers are my least favorite way to deploy a knife. I always cut myself or do something stupid or don't get it deployed. But when you have a protrusion like this, it makes it a lot easier to front flip. Now, if I had my druthers and it was John's knife, if they did a flipper delete like they do on the Jaeger and on the Arius, I would have that flipper deleted because this middle finger hole or this thumb hole is so perfectly designed. What I mean by that is even at its widest point, you're not going to get the hot dog down the hallway where you don't have good traction on your flicking finger. But then you've got this conical, pill-shaped opening hole that travels a little bit over an inch. So when I take this knife out of my pocket, regardless of where my finger hits in that fuller, whether it's down towards the tip of the blade, up towards the top, right in the middle, I get the same crisp deployment, snappy detent, and it just works well. If we were going to look at and try to nitpick a negative, the pocket clip, or not the pocket clip, the lanyard hole, although functional, I don't like the way it's designed because it kind of pokes into your hand, especially in a reverse grip. Not that you use it in a reverse grip, but I'm just not a big fan of that. And I'm sure maybe there's a way that you could replace this. You could definitely grind it off, but maybe they'll make a backspacer that doesn't include that, because it would be pretty cool if they did. But the only other negative is you don't have dedicated access to the lock bar. So when I go at it from the side, you might have seen in this video, I've missed it just a couple of times. It's designed to go straight at it because if you'll notice, you've got symmetry on both sides. So you don't have any jimping here. You do not have a lower angle here to allow you to pass through, but what you do have is you have these soft beveled edges right here in the center. So if I literally push straight down, those bevels push that lock bar out. That's not going to be a problem for anybody that just uses a knife or two like a normal person. I carry different knives on different days unless I'm reviewing something, and I'm sure I'll get very used to this, and it's not really a problem. It's just a nitpick, right? I had to come up with something to nitpick, and the lock bar access, even if it was just a little jimping, a little light jimping like Jared did on his misdemeanor, something subtle like that. I have not tried it in and out of pocket. I do notice that you've got those kind of honking perforations. Let's see. I'm wearing thick pants. Oh, it goes in and out of pocket just fine. Goes in like a dream. The clip retains very, very well. And again, I'm wearing thick 5'11" Defender pants. Love, love, love this knife. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons to give you guys an idea of the size of this bad boy. And we'll start with our, because it has been a while, our Sawtooth Grind Cold Steel 4MAX, which is smaller than. And then I just put my wee baby Banter on Skiff thick bearings, which made it an amazing little knife. It's not on bearings anymore, but it is going to be a good bit bigger than the baby Banter. So let's look at it next to our Benchmade Bug Out, to which I'm thinking it's going to be smaller than, about a ½ inch smaller. And finally, we'll look at a Sharpie. For those of you who don't have these knives, a little bit more than half this, or Sharpie's about a little bit more than half size of it. And then we'll look at it with a Paramilitary 2, to which it's very close to the same size, maybe an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch longer than the PM2. So let's get our Javon tape measure and see what kind of dimensions I can get for you off of this knife. I'm going to measure from the back heel here to the point. Eight and a quarter inches from here to here. My blade, if I measure from the front of the scale, is coming in right under 3.5 inches by about a 1/16. My cutting geometry, or my cutting edge, is 3 1/4. Where I grip the knife, which is from here to the choil, is going to be right under 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches from here to here. If you like this inside grip, it's 3.5 inches. So if for some reason you want to grab it back here, you've got a full size grip, 3.5 inches. I feel like you can still get to that choil, but I feel like you can really get pressure down on that blade when you get up in that choil, when you go into that harpoon. But guys, the blade is probably what detracted me for it when it was being dropped. It just looked kind of funny. But after holding it, after living with it for a few days, after carrying it, after playing with it, after cutting with it, it's just an absolute fantastic EDC knife. I was able to go to Sparrow's booth over at Blade Show and talk to them. They did not have any production Strix. They sold out the first day. The blade stock on this guy is .1560. Behind the edge, the way I can get it, which is not very good, is .0195. And my handle thickness is coming in right over ½ inch at .54. So a very nice package. We said it had a 3 1/4 inch cutting area, right under a 3.5 inch blade. I'm not an inch per ounce guy. And titanium knives really, in my opinion, don't fall into that. This feels like a tool. It is 4.8 ounces with a 3.5 roughly inch blade. To me, in a titanium premium knife, That is absolutely acceptable. It does not feel heavy in pocket. It does not feel heavy in hand. It has got a really sexy, kind of reminds me of Keenest and Blade Works grind. I don't know how well you guys can see how that grind is higher here. It's a hollow, but it just works up the tip of that blade. And then you've got this really nice swedge area. You've got fantastic kind of, I wouldn't say black, I'd say almost copper bronze pocket clip. I love the colorway. I love the fluid action. I even like the front flipper, even though if it was up to me, it wouldn't be there. I think the knife would look even cleaner if that was gone, if they did a flipperless version. But the blade hole is chef's kiss cash money. The ergos on the knife are cash money. And I just think it's an absolutely beautiful specimen. I would tell you guys where to get these. I'm hoping that they do another production run, maybe production run number 3. I'm not counting on that, but I would think with the success of this knife that maybe they would do a round 3. And I would like to see, because the bronze wash is nice, but I like the V5, which was the plain Jane tie. They also had an OD green. They had a Damasteel, which was way out of my league, but they've got some really nice knives. I'd love to see them bring it back. Keep your eyes out. Follow Sparrow Knife Co. These guys right here. That's what their logo looks like. And it'll keep you updated not only on their custom, but what they're doing with their production drops. But I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this overview/review. I didn't use it hard. I didn't beat on it. It's not my knife. It's my buddy's. But I do appreciate him for letting me experience it. That again is A to Z EDC over on Instagram. Please give him a follow. He's a good guy, has a great collection, and does help the channel out quite a bit. Guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate the effort, the time that it takes to watch my content. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.